I like the side storage. That is pretty sweet. That closes fast. We are back at the world famous SEMA show in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada to show you some of our favorite Tacoma and Tundra builds. Stay tuned as you're not going to want to miss out on some of these ridiculous monstrosities that they call Toyotas. All right, this Tundra build is awesome. Sitting on 35-inch tires with Ikon suspension setup, the coilover shocks plus the reservoir on there is pretty epic. I love the Ikon wheels as well. The color is amazing. This is one of my first, full builds that I've seen of a Tundra, and this one's pretty dope. I don't know what that bumper is, but it's rad with some rigid lights on it. And the back is where there's a lot of really cool stuff. This is really smart. Mule system, so if you need to access your truck bed, this can go down, you can mount things on it. If you need to get back there, you just raise it up. This tonneau cover is super clean. And there's a ton of room in here. Looks like we have a Pelican case on a little track system, so you can pull that out. Overall, this is really well thought out. Not a huge fan of the RTT sticking out the back, but it makes it really low profile, and I'm sure this thing is pretty robust. It looks like a huge RTT. I like it. Kind of want a Tundra now. In the Trek Hero booth, we got this Tundra here. It's relatively basic, but there's a couple of cool things. The bed cover in the back here with the roll and lock system. This is a really rad tonneau cover. We've used it a bunch in a bunch of our builds. Plus, I like this overhead rack. Put a spare tire, put any gear up there, and this infab step is pretty cool. 35-inch tires. Not a big fan of the huge wheel, but overall the look is pretty clean. Nice, simple build. That rack is pretty rad though with a tonneau cover. All right, behind me is the brand new Toyota Sequoia that has some awesome body lines. This one's built out for overlanding with I-Force Max underneath the hood. The grille is really similar to the new Tundras, which I like that style and shape, especially those headlights. If you want a full-size overlanding rig, I think this is gonna hit the scene in a really awesome way. Toyotas make good stuff that lasts forever, and I think this one is gonna absolutely crush and dominate. It looks good, it drives well, and I can't wait to see what it does actually on the trail. You got a Prinsu rack up there, some rigid pod lights, some side steps by CBI. Overall, it's built out. We're in the Toyota booth, so obviously this thing is dialed in, and there's no crazy aftermarket upgrades, but I do see a Camberg upper control arm, and in the back, a heavy-duty off-road bumper. What's crazy is these just hit the scene, so all these products are brand new. Full-size spare tire on the back, and a Magnolia rooftop tent. Solid build. One of my favorite overlanding Tundras at the show is this Xoverland Tundra that they built out for the Toyota booth. You got that full brush guard and huge off-road bumper in the front, the Prinsu rack, and then the Alu cab camper shell here with the rooftop tent. What's cool, we can't really see it right now, but you open that up and there's a ton of livable space in there. We got the Ikon suspension set up all the way around, at least a 4 to 6 inch lift, and it has some great travel, some rock slide tube steps right there, and a ton of storage on the top. I really like these grab handles, really clean. They always do good work, and this thing has already been on trails. If you've seen any of their videos, it actually does work. It's not a Bluetooth drive shaft like some of these rigs here. All right, where's my Yoda fam at? Behind me is a Tacoma. This thing is ready for some safari action with the snorkel. You got an Emu suspension kit. I've never seen that. We're in the A.R.B booth at SEMA. Plus that front bumper is crazy heavy duty. This thing was made for the bush, and these lights, the Solus Intensity lights, it says do not stare into them, they will blind you. In the back we have a full rack, the A.R.B RTT, the hardtop tent that pops out, got some max tracks there, and a full compartment system that is really rad. Check out this full kitchen setup and a fridge.
I'm too on.
One thing I've always liked about A.R.B is it's always heavy duty. Stainless steel, tons of storage, tons of compartments. If you want an overlanding rig, this is where it's at if you're a Toyota fanatic. All right, this is my favorite Tundra build at the show. The more I see Tundras, the more I love them. Fabtech did a really good job. You got the huge Baja design light on here. I don't know what model it is, but it is ginormous with the Fab 4 bumper. But what really is driving this thing is this billet upper control arm and the full Fabtech setup here with the coil over suspension. That thing is nuts. I love the details on the wrap, and in the back, the whole truck bed is really set up for overlanding and adventure. This Fab 4 rack is nuts. So beautiful, looks really cool and sleek. Plus you got the OVS tent on top, awning right here, and then a full Overland setup with drawers in the back. This is one of the most complete Overland builds I've seen at the show. Fabtech, you guys did a really good job. All right, we're in the Yakima booth with a pretty rad Tacoma here. I think 33-inch tires, love the side steps, racks all the way around, but this rack system is really cool. There's basically 3 levels. You have a surfboard or kayak on top, throw all your gear right here, plus the integrated tonneau cover makes everything really secure. Great job on the wrap. Overall, super solid build. Plus, the bike rack system on the back is super heavy duty and epic. That thing is adventure ready. All right, check out this new product by Yakima. It's a kitchen in a box, the Yakima Open Range. This comes down, you have your stove, sink, all of that fits in. Put it in the back of your truck, plus these legs pop out. You can literally have a full kitchen setup anywhere that you go. I could see this working great for overlanders. Little storage unit, put some utensils in there, cutting board, put all your pots and pans. This thing is really rad, and look how it just all folds up into a little box like that. What's really cool too, not necessarily for full-on overlanders and big-time off-roaders, but if you just want to have a camping setup and need some extra storage, they got this whole Yakima system that slides out, and you could put the kitchen right on top here. So you fold that out and you've got a kitchen no matter where you go. Solid job. We know, we love their road showers, their racks, but this product I think is game-changing. That's pretty cool. All right, behind me is a monster Tundra in the Go Rhino booth. The element bumper is super aggressive. I love the rack on top. I do wish that it was a little bit more conforming to the top, but you got an integrated light bar on there. Go Rhino side steps here. 37-inch monster Mickey Thompson tires. It looks like they got something going on with the suspension. I'm not 100% sure, but the back is really where the Go Rhino stuff comes into play with an integrated tonneau cover, the SRM 400 little rack system. I like that basket, and then the back bumper. It's a solid build. It's a monster in person. All right, we're in the Expedition 1 booth with another Gen 3 Tundra build. You got a huge brush guard here with some heavy duty stainless steel bumper, plus monster 37-inch tires, and some sort of lift and suspension setup. Some rock slide steps and a mule equipment rack. I like this rack. You could actually open it up and pivot it out, which is cool. Integrated tonneau cover, you know I love that. Plus a rack system, some Pelican cases. This whole spare tire swings out. Plus you got some jerry cans here. This thing's heavy duty. I'm telling you, Tundra's killing it. Killing the game. All right, we got another Tundra build. This is not a TRD Pro, but I just really like the look of the Tundra from this angle. 35 or 37-inch tires. Looks like we got some sort of lift on there. Couple side steps, but this tonneau cover is pretty sweet. Ranch tonneau cover that has some gaskets and full storage on the side over here. Check this out. Open these up. Is this how you open it? They were open. And some integrated storage right there. This is a really cool tonneau cover, and I'm liking the Tundras more and more. I like the side storage. That is pretty sweet. That closes fast. All right, I'm at the LTA manufacturing booth with the Tacoma build here that is interesting. We have this canopy, and normally the stainless steel canopies, I like them because they're strong, but they're also heavy. They don't quite fit right. Check out the fitment on this guy. So I like how you can curve it. It's something that you could only really do with fiberglass, but this fiberglass is a little bit different. It's a closed mold cap, which means they actually inject the fiberglass, which equates to a 40% reduction in weight and also a 600 to 800 pound capacity on top. This could be a game changer for the overlanding space because not only now do you have less weight, but more strength, so you could actually store things on your fiberglass canopy. Check them out, LTA Manufacturing. This is the ATC, not on the market yet, but it will be soon. Pretty cool technology. I'm in the iKamper booth with my favorite Tacoma build thus far. We got the L4 front bumper plus the Baja designs on that Prinsu rack. You got a full-on scuba setup, scuba snorkel setup. Plus it looks like the R4T rock sliders, the W work wheels, King reservoir shocks. This thing has definitely experienced some use and abuse, which I love to see. Plus you have this awesome Batwing awning, a little road bike, and a rooftop tent, full Lightner gear rack, which I actually like a lot, and then more gear storage in the back. This thing is heavy duty and super rad. I'm at the iKamper booth with a sick Tundra build. Check this thing out. R4T front bumper with the Prinsu rack, Baja Designs lights all the way around. The iKamper Summit Suite 2.0, that thing is a beast with some top water Rome adventure gear cases and some RRW wheels, big ol' 35-inch Toyota tires. Those might even be 37s. King coilover suspension, and then in the back, this full rack setup. I'd love to see a tonneau cover or something right here. I don't know if that's even possible, but there's a ton of room, and I'm a big fan of this setup. I'm in the decked booth with a TRD Pro Tundra here with some big old fat Mickey Thompson tires with some Mayhem wheels. I like the rock slider steps. The Lightner rack is really cool with the full Overland system, and I believe that is Prinsu with the rack on top of this, all blacked out, super solid wrap. Decked always does a good job. Let's check out the back of this thing because the deck system is legit. We've always been a big fan of the deck system since our first Gladiator build had it in the back of it, but this is so compartmentalized, tons of storage, and is super organized. This build is legit. I'm at the Baja Kits booth with a Tundra build. After driving the pre-runner kit on the Bronco, I could tell you that this setup with the billet upper control arms, the King coilover shocks, I guarantee you this Tundra absolutely rips. The AD off-road front bumper, and then that's about it. It almost looks even wide body, but it's just really clean. And overall, I'm telling you, that suspension.
And for you guys, reduced effort. Then if we like that.
I'm at the Ikon Vehicle Dynamics booth with another awesome Tundra build. Check out the suspension setup. I've been wanting to run Ikon setup for a while. Not only does it look amazing, but it also is extremely functional. Ton of travel, heavy duty billet upper control arms. Plus I really like these side steps. These rock sliders are pretty sweet. Keeps your body intact. A Lightner rack system, and it looks like a decked system in the back. You got a power tank there, continuing with the Ikon rear bumper. This is a really solid build. They always do great work at Ikon. I'm at the Trail Racks booth with a really cool Tacoma. It's actually seen some love. This ain't no SEMA princess. I got a couple mounting points on there, but this rack system on the Tacoma is really clean. I like how it's really precise, probably comparable to a Prinsu, but you got 90-degree angles, tons of mounting points all along the side. They got some Rome roof racks on there, and then also this whole canopy system or rack system is cool. I love anytime this comes up. It allows you access to get into the back of the cab. Suspension setup goes all the way into the truck bed. King heavy duty shocks. This Tacoma definitely has seen some abuse, and I love it. I'm in the Overland experience with a WESTiN Tacoma here. Check this thing out, 1552 wheels. This front bumper I really like. I like the Tacoma bumper as is, but this just adds a little bit more security and has that integrated super winch on there. The rack system is really clean. You have, how many, 7 pod lights, plus you can mount stuff on top. Rooftop tent, low profile rack, perfect for mounting little things like some Max Tracks or maybe some jerry cans or something like that. And then the RTT hangs off the back, which is cool because then you don't have to go over the front. Full-size spare, swing out tire on the back, and then also a rear bumper by WESTiN. Clean build, love it. Big fan of the Tacomas. I'm in the Overland experience area with a Rhino rack Tundra. Oh, you gotta have a little Rhino horn on the top of the Rhino rack Tundra. L4 front bumper with integrated winch and it looks like 40-inch light bar on there. This thing is massive with 37-inch BF Goodrich tires. You got the rock slide steps by C4, a Rhino rack on top, and then this thing is set up for adventure. You got the full bike system and a rack with a CVT hard top tent. And then also a bike rack on the back. Rhino rack always has really good products, and this build is what you'd come to expect from an awesome company. All right, I'm with another Tundra build here. We got 35-inch tires, a pretty sweet C4 bumper, and the rockside slips, but that 4-wheel camper is really where it's at. I haven't seen one of these on a Tundra yet, and they are so rad on the inside. You got a little cook table right here with a full-size spare, a fridge. That is a motorhome that could go literally anywhere. This thing is super rad. We're in the Overland experience area with this motorhome Tacoma. Check this thing out. You may remember Tacozilla from last year. This is a similar vibe. Fully decked out living space in the back that you have a crawl through area. Plus it's just super clean and really beautiful. You got some storage units on the back. I need to see and hear how this thing performs off-road because it's massive. You would not think it's on the back of a Tacoma, but that thing is pretty cool. I'm at Skinny Guy Campers with this Gen 2 Tundra, but check out the back. Their Skinny Guy camper system is really rad because the whole system folds out and you have a little seating area plus a place to sleep. It's on top of this Bowen Customs flatbed, which is a really neat solution, especially if you want a ton of storage, a ton of space for a whole family to hang out and sleep in. Skinny Guy Campers, check them out, super rad product. Behind me is a Tacoma in the Rhino rack booth. I love the carbon fiber hood right here with a little ram air scoop. That is a nice little touch. Weld wheels, got rock cider steps, plus the Rhino rack with some huge pod lights by Series 1 Project X. This little storage bin by Rhino rack is really key. It's really cool. Plus they have a full motorcycle up there. And in the back, their backbone system, or this system that goes over the truck bed, is really neat. A lot of stuff on the top. Don't drive too fast, I guess. We're in the airlift booth with a Tundra build on airbags. So when you have a ton of weight in the back, like a RSI Smart Cap, which I am a huge fan of, and a ton of extra weight, you could actually use the airbags to give you some more lift and suspension so you're not dragging butt wherever you go. The RSI Smart Cap, I think, is one of the best canopies out there. This thing is heavy duty, and on this Tundra, it looks really clean. If you look right here, normally there's like a big gap. They figured out a solution to actually clean that up, and so now you don't have as much overhang and it looks way more complete. I'm a big fan. We got a Tundra build here in the WESTiN booth with this WESTiN bumper integrated with a super winch and a light bar. I love how that just matches the factory look. And then on the sides, we have some steps. We got a carbon, looks like just a carbon wrap, and that's about it. The front bumper is the coolest thing on this, I think. Another sweet Tacoma build with that ram air hood. You got the C4 bumper, King coilover suspension. That's a 2.5 performance, rockside steps, the C4 rack right here, which I really like, some molly panels on the inside, and then those wheels are really dope. Forged wheels by Volk Racing. This is a sweet Tacoma build. All right, we got a sweet Overland 4Runner build here with a Gobi rack. Gobi is one of our favorite racks with a CVT rooftop tent here. We got fuel, bronze wheels, looks really good with that black, and then King Performance shocks. The full-size spare tire with a little swing out gate is pretty sweet. I like 4Runners, and this one is well built. All right, check out this taco build with the Skinny Guy campers back. Got a little snorkel action, the TRD Pro, the TRD OEM side steps, but what I really like about this Skinny Guy camper is you just open it up, and not only do you have a sleeping space, but you have a spot to, keep on coming, keep on coming. It's like a 4-wheel camper, except in a much more confined space and way lighter. These guys are doing some really good work. Tons of storage, really awesome solution for overlanding. I got a Yokohama Tundra right here with some huge Geolander AT tires, XAT tires with method wheels, Manzula upper control arms. We got a SSO steps, rock sliders right there, and then the Lightner storage solution and a deck in the back. This is a really cool setup. Full-size spare, but you don't lose a truck bed because you have a deck system. Pretty sweet build. I really like that wrap too. All right, I know this is not a Toyota, but this is what I learned to drive a stick shift on. Suzuki Samurai 1987. This one is clean and dialed in. Looks like 31, 32 inch tires plus little Bilstein suspension setup. This thing is cute. I love it. I want one. I want one. I want to take it home. All right, behind me in the Toyota booth is the Xoverland Sequoia build. I'm a big fan of what Xoverland is doing. They always build really classic and clean vehicles, and this one is no exception. You got that white and gray and orange motif all the way around, definitely on brand for Xoverland. The CBI side steps, I do like that two-tone. General grabber tires, those look like 35s, at least in an Ikon vehicle dynamic suspension setup with a off-road bumper, full-size spare in the back, swing out gate. This thing could definitely go on some great adventures, and you have the dependability of a Toyota. So it's clean. I'm really liking the Sequoias and the Tundras. That is a wrap. I hope you enjoyed that video and seeing some of those amazing rigs. If you didn't know, we're giving away that Ford Bronco that you may have seen in the Cooper Tire booth that we call Pegasus. Go to forge4x4.com to check it out. If you want more content like this, hit that subscribe, consider hitting that bell. We appreciate it, and we love everyone who's been following us from the beginning. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. So we'll see you next time, Forge Nation.